But I'm going to say this. Even though what Seth Rollins did at SummerSlam was a weak move, it was also a great moment. And I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm the biggest fan of moments in the WWE, or professional wrestling for that matter. More than what goes on inside of the ring, it's the moments that make professional wrestling what it is. And we have so many moments throughout the history of this sport. Seth Rollins has been involved in quite a few moments. His first Money in the Bank cash-in was at WrestleMania 31. And that was a huge moment. Maybe the biggest of his career. Because at the end of this moment, he ran away with the WWE Championship. And it was one of the best endings for any WrestleMania. This is why I have to give WWE credit. I have to give the devil his due. They've managed to give Seth Rollins another great moment. And coincidentally, with the Money in the Bank contract. Even though it was weak as hell for him to pretend to have this injury, it did add a certain dynamic to the Money in the Bank cash-in at SummerSlam. I gotta admit it. And I'm the last person that I thought would have to admit this. So Seth Rollins pretending to have this injury actually added a lot to that moment. Because after Rollins had made his appearance, he started to walk away as if he was still hurt. Only to stop midway, drop the crutches, turn back around, and take his knee brace off. And then proceed to run his screech looking down to the ring and cash in Money in the Bank. And even the interaction between CM Punk and Seth Rollins in the ring, I thought was done pretty well. So I gotta congratulate the WWE and Triple H for that matter. It was a thin line between this storyline being a complete disaster or being a complete success. But for night one of SummerSlam, Seth Rollins cashing in and winning the World Heavyweight Championship was a huge moment for the WWE. Now, since I got y'all on this subject, I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents. The only thing I would have did different was just leave the whole fake injury storyline out of this situation. I always wanted to see Bronson Reed a part of this group because I wanted to see this group be the most dominant faction in the WWE. It's to take things by force. So even with Money in the Bank, that same situation could have happened at SummerSlam. Seth Rollins just didn't need to be hurt to accomplish this. I would have had Seth Rollins make his appearance at the end of the World Heavyweight Championship match like he did. I would have had Seth Rollins send Braun Breaker and send Bronson Reed down to the ring to take out CM Punk completely. This would have been that crucial moment to exert their dominance. Not just for Seth Rollins, but you could have put your entire group on the map. This would have been the perfect time to have Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker have their own moment, and assisting Seth Rollins have his moment. What's the point of having these guys together if it wasn't going to be a team effort? I would have had Braun Breaker spear CM Punk at least 2 or 3 times. And then I would have had Bronson Reed give CM Punk at least 5 tsunamis. This should have made just as much of an impact as when Bronson Reed first gave 6 tsunamis to Seth Rollins. I always thought that was a great moment. And that's why I was very supportive of Bronson Reed, because I thought he made a name for himself in that moment. We should have had a continuation of that at SummerSlam. We should have had Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker beat the hell out of CM Punk, and then still having Seth Rollins come down and give CM Punk a curb stomp. More than just this being my opinion, let's look at actual wrestling psychology. The last time I checked, I thought the Untitled Seth Rollins group was supposed to be the bad guys in the WWE. I didn't know Seth Rollins was supposed to be the babyface, because this is exactly how the crowd is starting to react to Seth Rollins. They're cheering for Seth Rollins. They were happy to see Seth Rollins take this moment away from CM Punk, which I thought CM Punk was supposed to be the hero in this story. And by the WWE playing up this fake injury, the way that the moment was done, the fans continued to cheer for Seth Rollins. They were happy to see Seth Rollins pull off this heist. If Seth Rollins and his 2 enforcers are supposed to be the true villains in this company, then they should have took CM Punk completely out of the game. And it should have been overdone, like Bronson Reed with the 6 tsunamis on Seth Rollins once upon a time. If the WWE would have executed the moment in that way, the crowd still would have been excited, but they would have booed Seth Rollins and his 2 enforcers straight out of the building. And I think as true wrestling fans, that's the type of moment we could have appreciated even more. But I guess that's just me playing devil's advocate. Because either way it goes, like I said, it was a weak move, but it was a great moment. So shout out to Seth Rollins, because above all else, I'm truly happy to see him start his second run as the World Heavyweight Champion.